A federal judge on the 4th of August revoked Sam Bankman-Fried's bail and ordered him jailed pending trial, saying the indicted founder of the failed cryptocurrency firm FTX attempted to tamper with witnesses at least twice since he was charged with overseeing a multi-billion-dollar fraud. But does he really deserve such verdict? I will also be looking at the latest asset purchased by MicroStrategy, worth over $14 million. Finally, the first Spot Bitcoin ETF will be going live in Europe, but with an interesting twist. Stick with me till the end to find out more. If this sounds like something of much interest to you, be sure to check out this new video starting now. Hello and welcome to our channel, where we talk about the latest updates from Shiba Inu and the world of cryptocurrencies in general. If this is your first time watching one of our videos, we extend a special welcome to you. We invite you to hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. Now, let's dive in. Sam Bankman-Fried will prepare for his fraud trial from a Brooklyn jail where inmates ranging from convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell to Honduras' former president have complained of subpar conditions. U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan in Manhattan ruled on Friday that Bankman-Fried, the founder of bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange FTX, must be jailed for tampering with witnesses while free on $250 million bond at his parents' home in Palo Alto, California. Bankman-Fried, who has pleaded not guilty to fraud charges over FTX's collapse, will now be housed before his October 2nd trial in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, a far cry from the luxurious Bahamas resort where he lived until his December 2022 arrest and extradition to the United States. In recent years, MDC has been plagued by persistent staffing shortages, power outages, and maggots in inmates' food. Earlier this year, a guard pleaded guilty to accepting bribes to smuggle in drugs. Public defenders have called conditions inhumane. In the winter of 2019, an electrical fire cut off the jail's lighting and heat for days as temperatures fell to near 0 Fahrenheit, -18 Celsius. Lawyers for Maxwell, who was convicted of recruiting and grooming teenage girls for abuse by the late financier and sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, said raw sewage seeped into her MDC cell. Her attorneys compared the reprehensible and utterly inappropriate conditions there to Hannibal Lecter's incarceration in the 1991 movie The Silence of the Lambs, despite the absence of the cage and plastic face guard. They also cited hypersurveillance by overbearing guards, a bad diet, and sleep deprivation. Maxwell was sentenced last year to 20 years and is being held at a prison in Florida. A spokesperson for the U.S. Bureau of Prisons, which runs MDC, said in a statement the agency makes every effort to ensure the physical safety of individuals confined to our facilities through a controlled environment that is secure and humane. Founded in 1994, MDC currently hosts 1,608 inmates. It is now the jail housing detainees awaiting federal trials in New York City after the Manhattan Correctional Center closed in 2021 for improvements. Epstein killed himself in his MCC cell while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. Bankman-Fried's lawyers had urged Kaplan not to jail the 31-year-old former billionaire, in part because a staffing crisis at MDC meant there would be too few guards to escort him to a room where he could access computers to review prosecutors' evidence against him. Kaplan said during the hearing that while MDC is not on anybody's list of 5-star facilities, he was not sure whether housing Bankman-Fried at a minimum security jail in Putnam County, about 50 miles, 80 kilometers north of New York City, as prosecutors had requested, was doable. In a letter on Monday, Bankman-Fried's lawyers asked Kaplan to order MDC to provide their client with daily prescription medications for depression and attention deficit hyperactive disorder. It is not Bankman-Fried's first time behind bars. In the Bahamas, he was held for nearly a week at the Fox Hill prison, which a 2021 U.S. State Department report said was plagued by rodents and a lack of toilets. Local authorities said in December conditions had improved. Other high-profile inmates currently being held at MDC include Juan Orlando Hernandez, the former president of Honduras who has pleaded not guilty to drug trafficking charges, and Guo Wengui, an exiled Chinese businessman who has pleaded not guilty to fraud charges. Hernandez's lawyers have likened his confinement conditions to those of a prisoner of war. was lawyers in March called MDC an extraordinarily dangerous environment, citing a recent lockdown in response to an increase in contraband, including weapons. Well, that's not all. MicroStrategy has published its Q2 earnings report, which includes far less brutal figures surrounding its Bitcoin holdings than last year. Please, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell to be the first person to get more updates about the latest happenings in the crypto space. Bitcoin, BTC, whale MicroStrategy announced on August 1st that it has gobbled up another 420 BTC since its last announcement in June. This brings the company's total holdings up to 152,800 BTC worth $4.46 billion. According to MicroStrategy's Q2 earnings report, the firm's 12,800 BTC acquired since Q1 was acquired for $28,233 per coin, below the asset's current market price of $29,195. However, the company's average purchase price for its total BTC holdings remains at $29,672, slightly above the market price. We efficiently raised capital through our at-the-market equity program and used cash from operations to continue to increase Bitcoins on our balance sheet, stated Andrew Kang, CFO of MicroStrategy. The CFO added that Bitcoin has a promising backdrop of increasing institutional interest, progress on accounting transparency, and ongoing regulatory clarity. In late June, MicroStrategy announced that it had purchased 12,333 BTC since April through money raised by the company selling shares. MicroStrategy Executive Chairman Michael Saylor remains the firm's largest shareholder and primary advocate for BTC. He personally owns tens of thousands of coins. As a software business, MicroStrategy reported $120.4 million in revenue in Q2 2023, down 1.4% from the same period last year. Operating expenses, however, were down a whopping 88.2% compared to last year. That's largely due to only suffering a $24.1 million impairment loss on its BTC holdings this quarter, versus a $917.8 million loss in Q2 2022. During an earnings presentation on Tuesday, the company asserted that its core business is insulated from near-term Bitcoin price volatility. While stacking BTC, the company also increased its cash holdings since Q4 2022 from $43.8 million to $66 million. Furthermore, while the US SEC continues to reject or delay, at best, all Spot Bitcoin ETF applications, such a product has seen the light of day in Europe. Called the Jacobi FT Wilshire Bitcoin ETF, it will be the first similar product compliant with SFDR Article 8 through its decarbonization strategy. The press release dated August 15th informs that the Spot Bitcoin ETF will be the brainchild of Jacobi Asset Management and Wilshire Indexes. It will be under the ticker BCOIN and has already been listed on Euronext Amsterdam. Jacobi said it had implemented a verifiable built-in renewable energy certificate (REC) solution which allows institutional investors to access the benefits of Bitcoin whilst also meeting ESG goals. The ETF will be regulated by the Guernsey Financial Services Commission (GFSC). Fidelity Digital Assets will be the custodian, Flow Traders will serve as market makers, and Jane Street and DRW will be authorized participants. Wilshire Index's CEO, Mark Makepeace, commented, "The launch of the Jacobi FT Wilshire Bitcoin ETF is an important milestone for the digital asset industry and a transformative moment for the global financial industry. We are excited about the partnership with Jacobi and, as a leader in the development of institutional-grade digital asset benchmarks, we are committed to helping accelerate the advancement of the entire digital asset ecosystem." Spot Bitcoin ETFs have launched in a couple of other countries in the past few years, including Brazil and Canada. However, the U.S. securities watchdog, the SEC, continues to reject all applications for such a product. Nevertheless, the landscape can change soon as the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock, filed for a Spot Bitcoin ETF in mid-June. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments section. Write us anything down here. We are very eager to read you. Always remember that you are an important part of our community. Before we go, remember to inform yourself well before making any crypto investment. So in addition to watching our videos that are only informative, consult with specialists in the field so you can make the best decision according to your needs. With that, we come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, give the video a like and don't forget to subscribe. This really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Also share this video to as many people as possible. Let's get this news everywhere. If you are a true cryptocurrency fan, don't miss any of our content and don't forget to follow us on our new Instagram account at @FagMcKimony. See you in a future opportunity to talk about the latest news that concerns us all as a community.